Coach Ledford, Michael McCammon from Cardinal Authority here. Obviously, with the protocols and everything in place, not everybody's able to be together. All your offensive linemen aren't able to be together all the time working out. But now that the walkthroughs and things are beginning, what's that relationship between like the veterans and these newcomers like? Have they been able to bond much yet?
Yeah, that's one thing. If you look back on it, the thing that I think that we do as a coaching staff really well is we do a lot of things with our players outside of the complex just to make sure that we're trying to help build those bonds, and especially with the young guys that first get here, because it's hard. You're coming here, everything's new for you. But I think we got a really good group of upperclassmen, a lot of good seniors that, they're really taking a lot of these guys under the wings, kind of helping them out as well. But that is one aspect of it that I surely miss, having these guys over a lot in the summertime, cooking out for them and things of that nature. But, hopefully this is the only time that we'll ever have to do this. And hopefully it'll get back to normal very soon. But it's something that, we know that this is how it is right now. And we've got to do our part so we can make sure that we do everything possible to make sure we have a season.
Hey, Coach Ledford, Cameron from the Courier Journal. A couple days ago, I asked Tutu kind of where he thought the ceiling for this offense is. I'm kind of curious your thoughts as well. Obviously, you guys bring a lot of people back, and there's a lot of hype around the offense, but kind of where do you see the ceiling for this group?
It's we're very excited. We were very excited with the spring practices that we got in. Very excited. And, you look at throughout the season last year, coming in and spring ball, going through fall camp, kind of just seeing the progression of the offense throughout the whole season and how they were playing towards the end of it, particularly going into that bowl preparations and in the bowl game. And I think that we got some individuals within this unit that's are very, very talented. And the great thing about those individuals, they know that, for me to be able to get the things that I want as a player individually, we got to achieve a lot as a team, as a group, as a unit. And we got a bunch of unselfish players that just love football, and they're fun to be around. And I think that we got for us, we're very excited, and we're eager to kind of see this take the field this year and kind of see what this product looks like this year. Because they're working hard. We got some good maturity within the group, some good leaders. Just guys that are out there. Even though we're going through walkthroughs right now, you have to remind these guys, hey, back. We got to back a little bit. It's not full. We're not at practice yet. It's not full speed go right now. But they're just so eager and so anxious to get back out there. And so I think that it's definitely something where I think that as a unit, I can say this: we're very, very excited about what we have and what we have coming back, and look forward to seeing it take the field this year. It's you see the preseason awards that are guys being mentioned for all that, all those accolades. But it's just fun when you get out there with the whole group and just how unselfish everybody is, and it's like playing ball, man. Ball's important to them, and they work hard. It's just fun to be around.
Dwayne, this is Rick Bozich at WDRB. This is a week when it's been widely considered that be more answers coming from the ACC on what's going to happen. Do you find yourself asking questions about it or trying to get information, or how are you guys dealing with it?
We're just consuming ourselves with our, what we got to do today. This morning, we had meetings with our players, had a walkthrough today, and then just preparations for tomorrow, going through the exact same thing. So really getting back into a good schedule for us, and just, a week from today, we're that first practice. And so just getting prepared for those first couple of practices with fall camp and, because that's what we can control. We're just making sure that we're focused on what we can be doing and getting prepared and getting ready for when we kick off fall camp.
So you're anticipating practice will start next Tuesday?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. We're full speed ahead with that. As far as as we are with us, with our players, it's like, hey, when we talked to the guys today, that after the walkthrough, a week from today, fall camp, practice 1, and so you can see the excitement and the energy from the guys, and so it was fun just to see that and sense that from the guys. They're ready for it.
Dwayne, Cameron again. Obviously, you guys offensively had a pretty standout season. But what are some things you've talked to this team about this year that you feel like to take you guys to the next level? Things that if you guys fix or tighten up a few things that you think could take you guys to probably one of the better offenses in the country?
Well, last year when we got here, it was all about we wanted to make sure that we played with great effort. And, when we did that card tape, we showed plays on there of us giving great effort. Didn't matter the position. We wanted to be able to play a certain style of guys just playing hard, playing through the whistle, giving it everything you had. And so last year was a lot about just the attitude and effort part of it. This year it's more about now let's take the execution to a higher level. Let's have our execution to where now we're at an elite level. Everybody's knowing, all 11 guys are out there at the same time knowing what to do, what to expect. And so to me, that now if you get that, once you get that, now you can be in pretty elite company out there. But you still can't get away from the style and how you're going to play, and which I think our guys are really doing a good job with that. And just taking pride in taking ownership and you wanting in that elite execution. Because to me, I think that's the one thing that, if we have all 11 guys executing at a very high level, then you could have something pretty special.
To follow up on that, Tutu, I think it said pretty well to summarize it up as we need to finish plays at every play consistently. Is that kind of the best way to sum it up, you think?
Yeah, well, that's something we talk about all the time is just finishing, finishing everything. If I'm engaged into a block, finish that extra effort going through the whistle. If I'm a quarterback after a handoff, making sure I carry that fake out even if it's for another step. Just those tiny little details and everything. But the finishing aspect, that's on every play for us, all across the board. But it's just how detailed can you be within yourself? Detail in your assignment, detail in your fundamentals, and detail in the execution part of it. And then how are you doing it? What's that demeanor that you're playing with now? Are you stepping out on the field saying that I am one of the top players out here? We could be one of these units. Just have that demeanor about you as well when you take the field or take practice.
Dwayne, Rick Bose, WDRB again. By traditional, measurements, Tutu and Javion are probably considered undersized for Power 5 players at their positions, yet they were two of the most productive and successful guys last year in college football. How are they able to do that?
I think it's the way they play. I mean, you can measure somebody's size a lot, but it's hard to measure what somebody has inside. And I remember some of our first conversations that we said about Hawkins is just how he ran. And when he ran the football, it's as if he had a chip on his shoulder. He had a purpose when he was running the football. Now, obviously, he's talented. He's got a lot of great natural ability at running the football. But I think that, he makes up for his lack of what they say size for how he plays, the style of game that he has. And I think that you see stories like that all the time. Drew Brees, people saying, by when you look at just measurables, does he measure up to what a quote unquote quarterback supposed to be from a measurable standpoint? When you're looking at what numbers you're putting on papers as height and weight and things of that nature. And I think that Drew has done nothing but went out and put together a Hall of Fame career, and so like in Tutu's case, I mean, the way he plays, he loves the game, and is probably one of the fastest people in college football. And that's one thing that, Hawkins, Tutu, both those guys, they got speed, and I think that's something that you have it or you don't, and those guys can run. And as for us as coaches, we got to make sure that we give them an opportunity to showcase that on the field on Saturdays. But I think it has a lot to do with just the way those guys work, just that their attitude, their demeanor, going out and trying to prove people wrong. And to me, I think that's one of the biggest motivators that you can have is, whenever there is doubt or somebody's saying something about you that you can't be this or you can't be that, just proving people wrong about that. And, I love both of those kids, and they're great examples of just, going to work every day. And when they have the opportunity to shine, they've done so. And just two great individuals.
Dwayne, when you look at your offensive line, how do you feel depth-wise now compared to maybe where you were a year ago?
We're getting there. The thing that I really like about the group is, there's a better understanding schematically of what we're trying to get done. There's a comfort level of the guys playing around each other, being around each other, knowing each other. That's something with offensive line that, kind of goes unspoken. But when you got guys that have experience of playing beside each other, you can tell when they're out on the field together. There's just that comfort level there. And so in the way the guys are pushing each other, I think that this group is really wanting to try to prove something. They got a lot of motivation this year. They're hungry, and we've added a lot of pieces to this group since we've gotten here, and we're continuing to try to do that, and because one of the best things that you can have is competition at a position to bring out the best in both people when they're trying to fight for that spot, to be one of those five out there. And, feeling pretty good about what we're building up right now. We're getting there with it. And that's the thing that when you typically go through a full spring football, you have a good idea of what your depth chart's going to look like going into fall camp. Well, with that being shortened, there's still some things, in your mind you're thinking like this is what it's going to look like. But that's why next week, we get to start laying the foundation of that again and letting fall camp kind of dictate, well, this is what our two deep's going to be. But, I hope and I feel like that, by the time it's all said and done, we'll have 7-8 guys that we feel good about up front that we'll be able to play and kind of swing through that. Where last year, we had 6 guys that we really rotated through, got to 7 kind of late in the season with it. With Adonis Boone being kind of a swing guy, both playing at guard and tackle, but, kind of being a guy that was very versatile and kind of played a lot of different roles for us.
Any further questions for Coach Ledford? Okay, hearing none. Coach, thank you for taking the time to join us.
Appreciate you guys as always, and I really hope that we kind of get to see each other here soon and can get off all these Zoom calls and Teams calls that we're doing. But hope everybody's doing well, and always appreciate you guys having me on.